What's up, good people? Hey, it's me, Kris Gardner, KG, owner of the Houston Roundball Review, local name, a global perspective. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there who are with us, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who have preceded us and who are no longer with us in body. If you haven't been keeping up with me on social media, my mom has been battling a serious infection for more than 2 weeks now. She was in a coma, so it was bad. She is somewhat better. She is more alert now the last 2-3 days. She is going to be transferred to a long-term care facility probably Monday, perhaps Tuesday. But she's still with me. She's still with us. She's a fighter. The infection has lessened, so I'm thankful for that. Thank you to everyone who's prayed for her healing, for her comfort, for her peace, and even pray for me to maintain some strength and semblance of sanity as I've dealt with this for the last almost 3 weeks now. But let's talk some basketball for a few minutes. Going to talk some Rockets. Hope you had a chance to tune in and watch my interview with NBA consultant Ryan Blake. So I'm posted on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Talk with Ryan about Portsmouth Invitational. Solo Dilo, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Touched a little bit on the Rockets, not a lot. I was still trying to get a beat writer with the Rockets to discuss the Rockets more in depth. With schedules aren't matching up, and they're busy, I'm busy, life. So I'm going to try to have a interview on a college level tomorrow with someone, see if that happens, and then we'll go from there and try to line up a few college coaches and things like that. And I think I will have good news to share regarding these shows, these live streams. But until it's official, until the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, I really can't say much more. I'm waiting for everything to become official so I can announce something beneficial for the Houston Roundball Review, for the fans of Houston Roundball Review, the supporters of Houston Roundball Review, all those great things. But until it happens, until it's done, it's not done. But let's talk Rockets. Not much has changed since the last time we did a show with Let's Talk Houston Rockets. I think Sam Bassini from The Athletic updated his NBA draft big board, and he now has Jabari Smith from Auburn as his 1A, whereas Chet Holmgren is now his 1B. I've had Jabari as my number one for a few months now, and I really don't think that's going to change. No shade on Chet or Paolo or Jaden Ivey. I'm still not sure why NBA.net is still high on Jaden Ivey as going number one overall to the Rockets if the Rockets get that pick. But that's that site. And if y'all have seen other sites who have Jaden Ivey at number one, let me know, and I'll shake my head at those websites too, because I just don't see it. And I believe Jaden Ivey's got a lot of potential and some good upside, but he's not the number one pick in the draft, in my opinion. No shade to Jaden, no shade to his mom, Yale Ivey. I've known for a while. I just don't believe Jaden Ivey is the number one pick in this draft. I saw a clip of that. Let me put it up there. I did not watch the clip solo, but I heard about it on Twitter about a reporter thinking Paolo was Patrick Mahomes. Man, come on, man. I mean, there's a line in response to me to say it, but I'm not going to say it. But some of y'all can say it for me. But really? I mean, Patrick Mahomes ain't 6'10", is he? I mean, come on, man. Do your homework. Do your research. And who were his producers? Didn't they like clear that with him first, or like let him know ahead of time? Hey, we got Paulo Banchero here. If you want to talk to him, or did his producers say, "Oh, here's Ranger for interviews"? Didn't know who he was either, and thought Paulo's Patrick Mahomes. Come on, people, do better. That's embarrassing. You just can't do that. Man, I don't know. Did the reporter apologize? Has he apologized for the muck up? If he has, good for him for owning up to that mistake. But that's sad. I mean, come on. But I say all that, and I said, Sam Bassini has Jabari as number one. I have Jabari as my number one. ESPN draft guys, Mike Schmitz and Jonathan Givony, they're still on. Okay, well, that's good. That Paulo was a good sport about it. Better than me, because I think I'd have had a more harsh reaction, But anyway, but they're still on in the who should the number one, if the team, Rockets, Pistons, whoever gets number one pick. And right now, most likely, based on the number of lottery balls percentages, it will be either the Rockets, Detroit, or Orlando. And for each team, Mike Schmitz and Jonathan Givony said that each team should draft Chet Holmgren. And they cited Chet's rim protecting ability as one of their key factors in it, and his versatility, 3-point shooting, etc. But they didn't even one time in the three summaries discuss Chet's weight issue, his frame, his slender frame, his narrow shoulders, his narrow hips, the concern of us here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets of whether or not Chet can be successful carrying more weight. Hey, I know Chet has shown toughness in college. That's good. It's a nice trait to have. But toughness in college, toughness in the NBA will only get you so far if you cannot match up physically to these stronger players in the NBA. So that is my concern, has been my concern, and has been my main reason why I would not pick Chet Holmgren number one. I think there will be teams who love Chet Holmgren for his other skills, what else he provides. I'm just not on that hype train there. I'm more about weight issues, and if he puts on more weight, will he be able to carry it and keep it and not risk injuries to his feet or his knees or his hips because he's carrying extra weight? So those are my concerns there with Chet, and I'm not going to change about that. Bobby Marks, I'm pretty sure Rocket fans have discussed this with other colleagues on other Rocket shows, Rockets Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. Part of Bobby Marks, ESPN guy, former general manager, NBA general manager, offseason guide regarding the Rockets, he tossed out this possibility for a contract number from the Rockets to Christian Wood. I want to get your thoughts on it. I think it was 4 years, $77 million. Solo, would you be good with that? And anybody else tuning in, feel free to comment. Don't let Solo hog all the comments. But folks tuning on Facebook as well as YouTube, would y'all be good if the Rockets offered, I'm not sure Chris would take it, but if they offered C. Wood 4 years, $77 million? Because that's, I think initially I said a few months ago, I would have thinking about 19 or 20 million per. Which looking back at 20 million is kind of high, but that's close to it. 4 years, 77 million. So what are your thoughts on that? Do y'all think the Rockets should do that? Or the Rockets should just tell Christian Wood, thank you for your time. We're going to try to trade you by the February deadline, and we wish you well. And we're going to ride with LP and Jalen Green. So what are your thoughts on that? Hit me up with those comments here. Chime in on Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Not sure how long I'm going to go today. We got the Heat Sixers game coming on roughly an hour. And who knows, knock on wood, God willing, the hospital doesn't call during the show, because straight up, if the hospital calls, I'm taking a call and I'm out of here, going to see what's up with my mom. But that shouldn't be the case. I think she's getting better. Small steps. But C. Wood, Rockets, 4 years, $77 million. Would y'all be good with that? Do y'all want to keep C. Wood? Some fans, family members on here want Christian Wood gone. No, nope. Out of here. Get him out of here. You still put up a double-double. But I think the key that many fans on here and Rockets fans in general on other social platforms do not believe Christian Wood impacts winning. And I'm in that agreement. He doesn't impact winning enough. Yeah, he puts up good numbers. His defense, he's just not physical. A sleep art, he likes the under 20 mil per year. Well, we'll see if the Rockets won, if the Rockets offer that. And then if Christian Wood and his people will accept it, Christian Wood, I hope, I haven't seen anything to the contrary, but I hope he's come off the opinion that he's not a max player, a max salary kind of guy. So a sleep art 11 underscore. By that number and your comment that it's a good number, are you willing to keep Christian Wood and have Christian Wood part of the Rockets going forward? So, Brandon Thomas, what's up? Solo is in this. Whoop, here we go. Is in this group. Thank you for your service to C. Wood. He's not in this group of the under. I know what you mean about the 20 mil rather than 20K. But yeah, Brandon, I'm hanging in there, man. Good to see you. Thank you for chiming in. Thank you for your comments. What do you think? 4 years, $77 million for Christian Wood. Brandon, are you good with that? I think Brandon, you're a Christian Wood fan, aren't you? I think so. For the Rockets. But yeah, what do you think about that? We talk about that. John Wall's contract, 1 year left on it now, $47 million. Will the Rockets entertain a buyout now that this is the last year of the deal? Will John accept the buyout? And then will John get a 2-year mid-level offer of what is it, 10.3 mil? So roughly a 2-year, $20 million offer from another team. So take $20 million from the Rockets and get $20 million from the new team. It's $40 million. John, hell. I mean, come on, man. We say all that, but because it's not our money. But all right. Here's Brandon's comment about Christian Wood in that 4 year, 77 offer. Fair deal. I don't like him long term. He's a decent player, just a diva, and wants to be the man so bad. Probably not too many folks on here would disagree with that. Especially, even the diva comment. So, and that'll be something the Rockets need to determine this summer. If Christian Wood is part of their long-term plan, I don't believe he should be. But y'all know, I'm not Steven Silas. I'm not Rafael Stone. So we'll see about that. We are, 9 days away from the NBA lottery, when we'll find out who gets the number 1 pick in the 2022 draft and who picks 2nd, 3rd, 4th, even 7th. So extend them now. Yep. And this is fair because they could offer an extension for Scoot also. And average for Scoot that I think would be fair would be around $10 million per. It shouldn't go overboard anything too much beyond that because KPJ has improved, but I don't know if I want to toss $15 million per year to him just yet. So, and then Scoot may say, I want to bet on myself, and wait till next season, next summer. So, and Rockets may say, well, you played well this year, in your role. You had some ups and downs. You showed promise, but we're going to wait until the summer to next summer to offer to discuss numbers with you again. So we shall see with that as well. Eric Gordon. Y'all know what I think about Eric Gordon. I could go back to Solo's comment. Thank you for your services, Eric Gordon. Thank you very much as well with that. I'm going to mention this. We're not going to dive into it too much, but ESPN guys even did an early look at their 2023 draft guys, and Victor Wembanyama was number one prospect. No surprise there. Skilled big man from France. There might be teams tanking, NBA teams that's tanking to try to get him for next year's draft. But, that's even out there for discussion. Not right now. We're dealing with 2022 draft. Trade. So, Brandon, you want to trade Christian Wood and Eric Gordon? So, I'm more along that angle as well. I believe Christian Wood, if they don't agree to a deal, I think they'll trade him by February deadline. Benefit both parties, Rockets and Christian Wood. Jeffrey Grant, what's up? Thank you for chiming in, tuning in. Just trying to give an update on me and Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Like I said, I touched on it. I'm waiting for good news to share for these shows. Just not sure when we're going to be able to announce the good news. So kind of sitting on it for a little bit, but I'm waiting. So we'll see. And that also would include my other live stream shows, my people with Andy Yanez, Les Rage Cougs, AD Moore with the Texans, the AdMax Corner, as well as even my one-on-ones that I'm getting back to doing on YouTube as well. And of course, Folks Talking Sports. So just waiting, crossing fingers and toes. Derek, thank you for the kind words there. Thank you for the prayers. I appreciate it. And Brandon, these comments about EG, legit. EG's been professional. He's been appreciated. His time here, he's done a great job. Been a very good leader in the locker room and a good player this year. Rockets' record without him was garbage. But long term for EG, if and I think that's something he needs to decide as well. If Eric wants a chance to compete for a championship, how the Rockets aren't close to that. They're probably 2 years away from the playoffs, not to play in the playoffs. And if he wants to be on a championship team, the Rockets should probably do right by him and send him to a team competing for a championship. If he wants to hang around, he said a few months ago that he sees himself playing 4 or 5 more years. Well, he could do that 4 or 5 more years here with the Rockets, but they won't be a championship team for probably 3 or 4 years of that. Does he want to wait that long? Terry, how are you? What's up with you? Thank you for your kind words as well. Glad you tuned in. I always forget the time difference there. I think it's early morning there for you, Terry, in New Zealand. Brandon, you want a late first round for Eric Gordon or a second with a salary dump? But we'll see, because, Steven Silas says all the great things, on the record that fans and media have heard, how much he appreciates the job Eric's done for the Rockets, and the young guys appreciate EG's leadership and performance, all those great things. It's good. It's nice. It's kumbaya moments. This is business. Okay, it's time to have business. And come on, Derek, answer this question. Let me put this up here. We can kick it around for everybody else as well. Do I think the Duke connection of Mark Williams and Paolo Banchero would be available in the draft for the Rockets at Rockets assuming 1, 2, 3, and then 17? It does not sound like Mark Williams will be around at 17. think Vicini has Mark. I've seen Mark Williams anywhere from like 12, 10 to 15 in mock drafts right now. And that's about right. Depends on how I'm kind of curious to see how many of these high prospect young men will compete in the 5-on-5s in Chicago. If most of them would just show up for their physicals, their measurements, and then just shut it down and say, come to my one-on-one workout, my private workout. Because I understand that, there's some risk involved, but if you're a competitor, come on, man. I mean, just 5-on-5, show what you can do on the floor, get some competition. But, but okay. Biggest offseason question mark for the Rockets, TJ Tobin. That's a new name. Thank you for your comments. What to do with Scoot? Is he the long-term answer at the point? And then what to do with C. Wood? Probably, 1 and 2. Christian Wood's answer to Christian Wood will probably be determined on where the Rockets land in the lottery. If they get the number 1 pick, they're drafting the big man. They draft a big man, they can trade Christian Wood. And they should, in my opinion. Brandon, the lottery is May 17th, Tuesday, May 17th. Should be halftime of the playoff game that night. And once we find that out, I'm going to do a Let's Talk Houston Rockets after the lottery. So May 17th, looking at 8:30 Central Time, we'll have a Let's Talk Houston Rockets to discuss everything. And really, once we know where the Rockets land with that top pick, we can go from there, kick some more things around. Now we have concrete answers. Ousmane Dieng, Kris, man, thank you. Kris, thank you. And I'm just not how easy a little as a Rocket. Dieng, I like his potential. Seeing good things about him, and I like him more long term, and he fits in more of my timeline. What the Rockets should do if they can't get a legit shot blocker with that first round pick, then they can develop that guy at 17 and spend time depending on G League and depending on who it is. If they draft a legit international, keep him overseas, because if he's not a shot blocker, for me, this is me talking, not a shot blocker, damn near half the Rockets team is going to be first, second year player next year. And then you toss in Scoot, almost half the roster will be 22 years old or under, So like Jovic, Solo, yeah, somebody like that. Yeah. Brandon doesn't like KPJ at the point. Trade C. Wood this offseason. I put that up there. It's a good comment. I like that rationale. And I'm kind of curious to see, regarding Scoot, which way the Rockets would lean. Does the front office want to see Scoot shine for one more season, get better one more season before they invest in him long term? It makes some sense. So, because, he's not a true point guard. And with him, if the Rockets end up with the 5th pick, most likely that's going to be a guard. And that would impact Scoot and where you play him. And then where he plays, would you have, and let me kick this around too. Let me put up Brandon's comment, because I got a scenario I want to discuss with y'all. KPJ, firepower off the bench in terms of instant offense. Okay, well, now you lead into my scenario. If the Rockets pick 5th, get the 5th pick, that means they don't win the lottery, obviously. Shaden Sharp, let's say Jaden Ivey's gone at 4. Would y'all want Shaden Sharp at 5 and then have a Shaden Sharp, Jalen Green, KPJ, 1, 2, 3 for your starting part of your starting 5? Would y'all want that? And obviously, if Rockets draft Shaedon Sharpe, it's another youngster. You're betting on his long-term potential and all those great things. But would y'all want that? Would y'all be okay with a young man who hasn't played competitive basketball in more than a year, but he has high upside? Was 6'5", 6'6", good athlete, good pull-up game. I mean, I haven't seen it in any college competition, and you won't see it in any pro workouts, because he's probably going to be one of those guys who does one-on nuns rather than compete in any 5-on-5 in Chicago. Asleep says, yep. Solo says he liked that. TJK Penny, if he's a true 6'6" without shoes, yep. Okay. Kris says Keegan Murray at the 5. Okay. So we got 3 yeps, and then Kris says Keegan at the 5, at the 5th pick. Kris, why do you say that? Why do you give me your rationale for Keegan Murray for the Rockets? In the scenario of the main 4 gone, if Keegan Murray is, well, obviously Keegan is there. I could see the Rockets picking Keegan Murray. I don't know if I think that's a great fit for the Rockets with Keegan Murray and LP. But Kris, chime in with a comment about why you think the Rockets should take Keegan with the 5th pick. Brandon, Shaedon Sharpe he's a scoring guard. He's probably now maybe a 2-3. He's not a point guard. No, not an NBA point guard. Let me say that. TJ says he liked Keegan at the 5th pick. Don't have a true small forward. Okay, so TJ, maybe Kris agrees with you on this. And let me go back up a little bit to Edward Sims' comment. Ched and Tari Eason. So Edward, you're more on my thinking with Tari Eason, because I think in one of the last, maybe a couple weeks ago, the ESPN guys had the Rockets picking Ty Washington at 17 or 16 and passing on Tari Eason. And I was like, that'd be a Rockets pick. That would not be my pick, because no, there's too many guards. But that would not shock me. The Rockets did that with their 2nd pick in the 1st round, because they just don't have the same philosophy. We're not on the same page when it comes to philosophy. Rockets are all, small ball, and that, no. Solo likes Sharpe more than Keegan. Got a lot of guys who like Shaedon Sharpe. Got to shoot for the biggest upside. And of the 2, Shaedon Sharpe has more upside than Keegan Murray. I think many people would agree with that. And if the Rockets are still in trying to accumulate talent and stars, then they probably would draft Shaedon Sharpe. Keegan Murray, he probably has a higher floor, but not as high a ceiling as Shaedon Sharpe. So Brandon, Shaedon Sharpe is probably a 2 right now, but he might get a little taller. He's still young enough to probably grow. Edward, you think so? You think Marjon Beauchamp is better than Jason right now? Okay, Brandon says rather get a small forward through free agency than getting Keegan at the draft. Well, I mean, Marjon, what, 6'6", 6'7"? I'm all for, getting taller in the front court, especially. So, that's me. I want taller, skilled players in the front court. No question. Brandon wouldn't want Shaedon Sharpe and JG to bump heads. But like Sleep Art said, you're going for the upside, the more potential. So, shooting for the biggest upside, and that is probably Shaedon Sharpe. Put this comment up here from Solo. Curious about that. You don't think Jayson will get any better offensively overall? Give me some more on that, Solo D-Lo. Give me some more on that. I mean, I think Jayson could improve. I just believe he'll be better suited coming off the bench and making their bench unit better, because hopefully you're getting better players in the front court. Offensively for Jayson, yeah. I mean, if he becomes consistent with the corner three, that's really his main thing to do, in my opinion, on offense. But as I said in one of those YouTube shorts, which I'm not getting away from, going more to my one-on-ones, Jayson 6'4". He's not going to get 6'9". And more, you see many of the teams, everybody can't be the Warriors, okay? The teams in the playoffs are taller and longer, and Jayson 6'4", okay. Edward Sims, great question. Why? Well, I think one answer, so many mock drafts have the Rockets getting tie ties because of who the Rockets are. They're in love with guards. They're not in love with taller, skilled players. And until they change that, that's why people mock drafts are doing that. I don't think the Rockets should select Ty Washington. I think Ty could be a solid pro, but no. And I think, another good point there that Brandon says. I think Jayson is probably 26 or so now. So show up that bench, Jayson. Come off the bench and be a great role player. Sandoval, thank you. We were just kicking around and get your thoughts on this as well. If the Rockets land at 5, I tossed out Shaedon Sharpe at 5. Other folks on here suggested Keegan Murray. So who would you like at 5, Shaedon Sharpe or Keegan Murray? Give me your thoughts on that. If the Rockets fall to 5, not panic. Just may have to just adjust the draft plan and go to your tier 2 players. Yeah, hey, it happens. So, I mean, the fans might be all gloom and doom, but that's all right. Rockets front office shouldn't be making picks based on the fan reaction. AJ Griffin at 5? No, I think Shaedon Sharpe is the answer today. I think AJ would have to have a great workouts, individual workouts, draft workouts, combine workouts. I'm kind of curious to see how many of these youngsters will compete in Chicago rather than show up for their height, weight, physicals, and the numbers. But that's a dying art. Ben Math, TJ, I'm gonna put it up there. Put the comment up. Ben Mathurin. I think it depends on how Ben and Shaedon perform in their workouts for teams. But I'll answer your question with this question. Of the two, Benedict and Shaedon Sharpe, who do you think has the most upside? And would you want to draft based on your answer? So you've joined the Paulo Check crew, Terry. Why have you done that? Kris, redundancy in Shaedon Sharpe, JG 2.0. Could be. But if the Rockets are of the mindset of drafting for highest potential, and if Shaedon Sharpe is their highest ranked player on their board, then that's probably what they're going to do. Put this comment up there from Edward about Jayshawn Tate. Fouls a lot. He's undersized at this position because the Rockets play him at the wrong position. He ain't a 4, but they're making him a 4. And you know, he could probably be better. He would be a better player if he played at a more natural position. But that's not what the Rockets have done with him. Let's see. Peyton Thompson is in the camp. Let me see here. Rockets land at 5, then use Tate and then pick to move up in the top 3. We discussed that in I think a previous a commenter tossed that around as a suggestion maybe a month or so ago. And I don't have a problem with that. Because if the Rockets believe that there is a player that they love in the top 3, Jabari, Chet, Paolo, and they love that player much more than whoever it is at 5, then make a deal. Trade up. You got assets to do it. Do it. It depends on how much they love those top 3. I think a lot of people believe there is a drop-off, especially after 4. If some folks want to toss in Jaden Ivey, and then there's a drop-off, from Chet, Paolo, Jabari, Jaden Ivey, and then there's a big drop-off after those 4, and the Rockets get the 5th pick. If Rockets believe that the guy they want is top 3, hell yeah, trade up. And you could solve some of your problems, yeah. Jordan Poole from the Warriors. Warriors they're going to have to make some financial decisions. So we'll see what they decide to do, because Jordan Poole, he's playing out of his mind this season. Will he continue that once he gets paid? We shall see about that. JT, put the comments on the screen here. I think Jayshawn might be a little bit better than Chuck Hayes. He's definitely got, some offensive game that Chuck never had. Who would be the other big forwards or center prospects that, outside of Kessler, Mark Williams, and Tate, Sandoval, I'm like this as well. Bring Jayshawn off the bench. Wade Garris Matthews. I think with talent upgrades, Garris Matthews should move deeper and deeper to the bench. And eventually, he'll probably be way deep in the rotation, if not off the team. Eventually, upgrade the talent. Got to continue upgrading the talent. What if you get Jabari and Tracy Wood and Tate for Jalen Duren? Jalen is a rim protector. I agree with that. I don't know. See, the closer and closer we get to the lottery, and we find out where the Rockets pick, we can really hone in on some of these trade possibilities. Brandon, Warriors, they could pay Jordan. Like I said, they could just have 4 or 5 max player guys and just pay awesome luxury tax. They want to do that, but at some point they can't do it, and we'll see how they don't. They're getting real close to not being able to do all that. So we shall see. And Gary Bird will. He's got to improve his game defensively for sure, as he said toward the end of the season in his last post game. He wants to become a better 3-and-D guy. Hell, saying it, at least you know your problem. Now go out and fix it and get it done. But talent upgrades, Garrison Matthews is 8, 9, 10 in rotation. Jabari or Chet, I'm a Jabari guy. Some folks on here are Chet guys. The Sengun, what I think of Alp and Paolo as a fit long term. I've been hard on Paolo because of his defensive inconsistency, his defensive effort sometimes in college. And I think one of the followers on here doing these shows compared Paolo to Carmelo. Well, defensively, I don't want Paolo to be Carmelo. You know, he got better than that being the Rockets, make the Rockets a better team. So, and if he doesn't, then Alp and Paolo, look good on offense, but not very good on defense. So, you know, that's what my thoughts on that. Right now, he's got to become a better player defensively. And first thing first, he has to want to be a better player defensively. Rockets got a lot of players, a lot of them guards, and they're undersized because by design, that's what they are, which I don't like. Sandoval likes the pairing of Alp and Paolo in the front court. Offensively, I think they can put in work, do damage. Defensively, that Chet gets a bad rap. My issue with Chet is his frame. His narrow shoulders, narrow hips. Can he keep that weight, maintain that weight, and still be productive and stay healthy? That's my issue. Chet may set the NBA on fire his rookie year. You know, 4 years should not prove me wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm just concerned about Chet and his physical makeup and being able to keep putting on some weight. And because, you know, KD, people can talk about KD slender frame. KD doesn't have to guard some of these dudes Chet may have to guard. You're going to put Chet at the 3 sometimes or bring him off, you know, try to hide him on defense and have him come up for help. Got to figure out ways to hide him on defense. And then with the Rockets, got to make that work. And I think even Chet's slimmer than KD was come out of Texas. So I've had Kelly on. I don't hear it unless talk Houston Rockets. I've interviewed him a couple of times, trying to get him as an interview, and just fallen through the last few days. So still working on it. So hopefully it'll happen soon. But you know, this stuff happens. Oh, there's no question. Luke will cuss out Chet. No question. No question. Luke cuss out everybody. Hell, Luke cusses me out. Still, to this day. So Stone likes players that can create for themselves. Yep. That can create for themselves, get shut down. If players get shut down, that's why he might go for Paolo or Chet. Oh, no. I would not be shocked at all if the Rockets pick Chet. No question. No, not at all. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that is. But I'm not the Rockets. So, yeah, I would not be shocked at all if the Rockets pick Chet at 1. No doubt. I wouldn't be shocked at all about that. Now, if the Rockets get the first pick, I'd be surprised if they pick Paolo. Lottery, JT Hines is May 17th. And May 17th, at some point, probably 8:30, after the lottery is finished, we're going to do another Let's Talk Houston Rockets on May 17th. Hopefully I have one before then, but for sure, planning for one on May 17th. So, and obviously, that is contingent on my mom's health. If she takes a turn for the worse, you know, If she, God forbid, passes away between now and then no. But May 17th is the plan. Knock on wood. Hopefully that happens. May 17th, we'll discuss the lottery and where the Rockets pick. May 17th. That's what we're going to discuss. After the lottery is when teams agree to trades. I think closer to draft time. The draft, June 23rd. I think there will be, Ryan Blake believes that there will be more, teams will be more active regarding trades this offseason up to the draft, up to and day of the draft. Ryan Blake is NBA consultant. Not sure how old the audience is, but Ryan Blake's dad, Marty Blake, is basically the NBA draft guru. I grew up listening to Marty Blake discuss the draft. So that shows you how old Marty Blake is because I'm 50. So yeah, and Ryan is taking over the NBA drafting stuff that his dad did well for so many years. And if you haven't watched that interview I did with Ryan a few days ago, just check it out on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. You know, some of the names he tossed out there, NBA legends that he saw when he was a kid, 5-6 years old, traveling around with his dad. So, yep, great info from him. Really appreciate him taking time to squeeze me in their schedule to discuss some hoops. But Jabari Smith is the most solid option. 3-4, yeah, that's me. Brandon, who would I like to see in the starting lineup? Well, I got to see the Rockets on the draft first. You know, so I don't mean, you know, let's discuss that after the draft, because I don't want Christian Wood here. He shouldn't be here, but he might still be here. And if he is, he's going to start. I think Al P, depending on where the Rockets draft, will probably start whether or not Christian Wood is still here. Would be here opening night. If Rockets get the first pick in the draft, probably not. I don't think he should in that scenario. And talking about Chet Holmgren won't be 195 his entire career. Hopefully. I mean, we think that. But again, does his frame allow him to keep that weight on and still be as impactful with more weight? Some guys just can't do it. The heavier they get, their body begins to break down. I think Chet could be in that group. We'll see. His dad's a slim dude. You know, so we'll see. He could be different. Chet has skills. I'm not questioning that whatsoever. But like I said, the Rockets will pick Chet if they get the first pick in the draft. If I had the first pick in the draft, I wouldn't pick Chet. But clearly, I'm not a GM. So that's what I'm talking about right there. Don't think it's crazy to think KJ could see meaningful minutes next year over Jay Sean. If KJ continues to progress, add to his game, I'd be okay with that. Yeah. If Us can consistently hit his three, play him at the 4. Well, let's go with that right there. Would y'all be good with Us and Al P on the floor together for extended minutes? I mean, let's put it out there. Us, Al P, and Chet. Y'all think that would work? Would y'all be good with that? JT Hines, you saying hell no to the Us Al P, or you saying hell no to the Chet, Us, and Al P? So that's the scenario. Just toss it out there. Us has to stop playing defense with his hands and utilize his quick feet. Got good footwork. He has decent instincts on defense. He just uses hands too much. this is the NBA. You can't play defense with your hands. You gotta go for steals all the time, all that kind of stuff. Guys will cross you over, and once you lean one way, they're past you. Brandon says no. Jabari Us and LP rather than Chet Us and LP. Us and LP. Okay, so JT Hines says hell no to Us and LP. Okay. Think about an LP Chet front court and have LP defend the bigger players and have Chet come over from the weak side for help. I'm not as negative about LP and Chet playing together as some other basketball folks are. I think it could work, but LP's defense has to improve as well in the post. It's good that he wanted to take on the challenge, to defend. Who was it, Cat? That's good to take on the challenge at the start. To want it to defend the bigger post players. Now you got to know how to do it and develop the skill set, strength, tricks to do all those things. Can KJ play the 3 with Jabari at the 4 and LP at the 5? I like to see that. See that as a possibility of KJ at the 3. And so I see JT Hines is on the Rockets draft Jabari Smith train. I like to see it. I'd like to see KJ Martin earn and show that he is a legit starter in the NBA at the 3. Because if he does that, I think that makes the Rockets a better team. If he doesn't, then he's just still going to continue coming off the bench and being a spark. And that has a role, but if he could become the starting 3, I think that makes Rockets better. But he has to prove it. LP always shows effort, which is good, and that's a start. That is a plus. Wood thinks he's better than he really is. Yep. I think most people who participate in these shows agree with that. Edward Sims. Which is kind of interesting that most people feel that way. And not just on these shows, I think in Rockets Twitter feel that way. So, Sola, how many wins Rockets have next season? They need to be inching toward the play-in. They need to show improvement in the win column. So I'm saying at least 30. At least 30. And then that's based on, draft, what they do in offseason, all those things like that. Worries about a trade for, Seawood, for Moses Moody, and 28 Blacklight. That's a new name. Thank you for joining. Brandon, you back to 33. So you could be right next year, Brandon. Because you weren't right this year. But yeah, definitely got it. At least 30. Didn't want Mobley or Allen, but want Şengün at center. Well, I wanted Rockets to draft Evan Mobley, but they didn't, because that's who the Rockets are. So LP got to develop a jump shot. Why is mid-range hated? So hated in today's game. It is, but I think more and more of the youngsters are going back to the mid-range game. And so that's, for an old head like me, I like seeing that. So, because if you can shoot a high percentage from the mid-range, take that shot. Take that shot. I mean, I'm talking, if you're knocking down 57, 60% from mid-range, I mean, that's your money shot. Take it. Take it and make it. You don't have to get to if teams keep you from getting to make a layup, and you can make that mid range all day long. Man, take that mid range shot. You don't have to stand out there by the 3-point line all day long. You don't have to do that. You know, Jalen Green is doing that. Cade Cunningham doing that. More and more youngsters are doing that. And I think you see more and more youngsters in college doing that. So that's what I like to see. Do I see a scenario where Silas gets fired next season? Yeah. If they don't show enough progress, and progress, I mean win, not just in development of the youngsters. Yeah. If they're nowhere close to sniffing 30 wins, he's gone. He understands that now. He's got a team option on the 4th year. That's when let's go back, take a step back. That's why I think if the Rockets draft, and we're talking about upside, if the Rockets did draft Shaedon Sharpe at 5 and didn't make a trade, did not trade the 5th pick, and they drafted Shaedon Sharpe, does that indicate to you guys the Rockets are continuing their rebuild? And would y'all be okay with that? Because, yeah, Shaedon Sharpe has upside, but he's a couple years away from being impactful consistently, all those things. And if he's not helping them win and does not help the Rockets get to those 30 plus wins next season, then are y'all good with that? So I'm just tossing that out there as well. You know, can't lose with any pick in this year's draft. No. So yeah, you know, and this is Terry's comment right here is why I'm not sold on Rockets keeping, if he's not a shot blocker with that 2nd pick, because they're so young, got so many young players. But I think they need, you know, here's Peyton Thompson, you know, this could be legit right here. It would say more about the uncertainty about Scoot than anything else. That's fair. You know, that's a question, a scenario of could be the Rockets thinking, you know. And I'll say this: if they trade the 5th pick and Christian Wood to move up, I think that it probably indicate Tillman Fertitta has part of Rafael Stone. We got to start doing something on the court in the win-loss column. You know, I was patient for a while, but you know, Tillman said all the right things lately, last month or so. He understands it's the process. He understands what is necessary for the Rockets to be good long term. We'll see if he sticks with that. So there's a few things to kick around there. It's good to talk Rockets with you guys. Getting ready to wind it down here. But like I said, for sure, aiming for Let's Talk Houston Rockets on May 17th on draft lottery night. And we'll see if I have one Friday or Saturday coming up this week to just in case things happen. May have my good news to share, hopefully, this week, hopefully. Rockets trade Wood to move up along with that pick. Who do we get back? You know, Duncan Robinson. Well, I mean, if it depends on who's in the top 3, who they're trading for. Brandon, thank you for that. What's the chance they get a player from overseas? I think that's what I would do, Terry, is this draft an international player at 17 and keep him overseas. That's what I think they should do. Haven't heard one way or the other on that. But, you know, so many youngsters, man, you know, but we're going to know, get a better indication May 17th. Like I said, I have planning to have any insider info on who the Rockets like in the draft. You just read my man Kelly Eco. You know, Kelly gets the info, and then I ask him, and then we go from there. And like I said, the biggest thing is we're trying to get on each other's same schedule. I have a video chat. You know, working on that. So we'll wait and see. But you know, obviously, insider info on the Rockets like in the draft. If they tell me not to share it, I'm not going to share it. Okay, you know, I'm not going to ruin my credibility with the franchise, you know, by doing that. Brandon likes Jabari Smith, the first pick. So do I. But I'm looking forward to the lottery. You know, Brandon's looking like a high school team. This, you know, too much youth is a bad thing. I think too much. But if it's talented, then you got to be patient with them and let them learn through their mistakes. But yeah, Monday, my plan is to talk to a college beat writer. I'm trying to see if I can get a local college coach here this week. So may have, if me and Eco can't match our schedules this week, might be more of a college slant regarding interviews. But we'll just go from there and take it day by day and keep pressing forward. And hopefully I'll have my good news to share at some point soon regarding these shows and the more ways to watch these shows. So that's a hint right there. You know, Brandon, you keep it right about JC, about Jacob, Josh Chris for having a breakout year. But thank you very much, everybody, for your comments, for your prayers, for my mom. Rocket Talks, great talking with you guys. Y'all are very, very knowledgeable. Stay tuned. If you don't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. Tell your friends about it. Because it's got big things in store for the channel, for the Houston Roundball Review. So until a few days, see you next time. Y'all take care. Peace.